Right, walkthrough of 650 Ducati, pantah based. Originally it was an Alazzurra, which is the people, well, Cagiva Alazzurra, because Cagiva were the people that took over Ducati during the time of this vehicle. Same Verlicky frame, same engine, they just put different cosmetics on it. This is now stripped down and rebuilt. So I'll go through it, hopefully we'll catch everything on one take. So the wheels are the original wheels, so 18-inch. They've been shot blasted and powder coated by TPCS in the appropriate Ducati gold. They're kind of considered the experts on such matters. They also do magnesium wheels, etc. These aren't magnesium, but the guy there is very knowledgeable. As you can see, I've replaced the discs with floating discs. Those are EBC discs. I've also gone for an uprated caliper, so those are the later Gold Line calipers. There's a bracket there which I've made. I put some titanium bolts on there and wire locked them just for shit and giggles, really. What else have I got to tell you? So brake lines, braided steel clearly. I've made a fork brace, I've milled that up. Let's go to the front. So Gold Line master cylinders for the clutch and the brake. Just for fun, I've milled this little bracket. Usually you get a little kind of pressed aluminium piece. I thought, well, it'd be nice if we do a little mill a little piece, because we can. I've made these instrument blocks again just because I can. I just thought it might make it a bit more bespoke. Also the top yoke, I decided, well, I might as well make one of those. So I've made one of those on the mill, so that's bespoke to this particular vehicle. There's a Costco digital and analog tachometer, so the speedo is displayed there. Clearly the tacho and the warning lights on there. The speedo goes to the front hub. I'll show you that when we go round. So NCR style tank with the aircraft type filler. That's fiberglass. It has been sealed with the Caswell's, I'll just move that out actually, Caswell's two-part, I'm assuming it's some sort of epoxy. If you look there you can see it's all got, well you probably can't actually, it's got a glossy, if you come to look at the beast, you'll see there's like a thick glossy film. I have tried, not on this tank, but previously on another tank, other people's, and it was not particularly successful. I think Caswell's is the only one that's any good. Coming down to the engine, so I've basically had purchased this in bits and rebuilt it. So the cases, I had them shot blasted by iClean's machines. I've changed every single bearing inside and shimmed up the shafts to as they should be as per the factory spec. The heads are clearly shimmed as well. They're absolutely spot on where they should be. So moving round, you can see a 2-into-1 exhaust, which sounds very nice. It's a Conti exhaust, Italian exhaust. Let's go around here. Let's see what else we can see. Oh, and I had these shot blasts. They were brass, so they look rather dainty. So I left them as they are. 36mm carburetors as you'd expect, and then a spun aluminium and stainless mesh on the end. Yeah, so there's a pair of rear sets on it. Originally they were KVT, whoever they are, and I've basically modified this to suit. But this is all stainless. That pin there is stainless. The engine bolts are stainless steel. I've machined those up from engineering. Stainless steel, the appropriate one. I did the same. You can probably see it in there. There's a weird kind of bolt that has a little recess in there to hold the wiring. So I've made those up. I bought new petrol taps because they were a bit rotten, the ones I had. So the Contis, the rear shocks of the piggyback. I can't actually remember the manufacturer of those, but they are what they are. So the rear tyre, well, the front and rear tyre are brand new. They are Continental. They are, if I remember rightly, Conti Classic Attack. So they're pretty good tyres. What else can we say over here? Clearly in red. Let's go to the back end. This is just milled aluminium to hold the number plate and the rear light. I've got the large number plate on it at the moment because it has to get MOT'd, so it needs the proper size. But I've got a little slightly dinky one, not a ridiculously small one, because that's kind of asking trouble from the police. If you go to the rear, we've got, again, I've got some floating discs. Just for shit and giggles, I've put some titanium bolts in there and wire locked them as per the appropriate pattern. Standard miniature, little single pin, Brembo old style. Rear master cylinder, this was new actually, and then an appropriate little cylinder there. Rear sets I've spoken about. The battery, you probably think there's usually a battery there. It looks really ugly there, so that's been repositioned into here. I'll talk about that when I take the seat cover off, and you can have a look. Oh, that's the number plate falling off, the small one which I taped. So I made these little caps on there just to make it look nice and clean. As you can see, the engine was completely shot blast. I've polished these up. I haven't gone crazy with the polishing. If you've got a spare few hours, I've popped these back on the covers because I'm getting it MOT'd. I don't think the MOT inspector would be very keen to see something where you could trap your fingers in. So I think it looks far more sexy when you can see the belts. So these can be taken off in 2 minutes. So if you're looking at it, I can take those off if you come and view. Brand new belts clearly, and there's a set of roller bearings there. They've been replaced as well. Filter there for just the event for the crankcase. What else we've got to say here? Not much there. Again, there's a carburetor. New horn. Not that that's going to be particularly impressive. Let's have a look at the other side. Same thing. Starter unit there. I just milled that up, and the bracket as well. Gold line brakes there. Aero filler cap. What have I missed? There's probably loads I've missed, but I've forgotten. But you can probably come and have a look. Let's sort of step back here. I'm just going to move this number plate because I don't want you to see the number plate. So just move that there. That's going to fall off again, but hopefully it'll hold on as long as I'm recording this. So there's a kind of view there. Nice view there, looking quite sexy. Let's do a view up here. View around there. Nice little nose cone there. This is all brand new. I thought that looked rather neat and dandy. I know most people fit the kind of standard Ducati one that goes over here, but I thought that looks rather quaint. Let's pull out there so you can see, have a little walk around. Yeah, so maybe we'll start it up and you can listen to it as well. From absolutely stone cold, as long as you've got the choke on, it fires up every time. So let's just assuming there's petrol in it, so let's just start that up. So what lurks under the seat? Well, the most interesting thing I think is the Moto Gadget M unit, which is here. This just replaces all the wiring harness. No, this doesn't replace all the wiring harness. It means you can build a brand new wiring harness with a lot less wires. So it has a brand new wiring harness, so I've built that. It all feeds into this Moto Gadget unit here. All brand new, all the terminals are new, absolutely 100% as it should be. The battery, I did start off with a lithium ion battery, absolute nightmare. I've gone back to a lead acid battery. They're more trouble than they're worth, and the alternator doesn't, the regulator I don't think is suited to lithium ion, and they're very fussy, and I killed one basically. If the volts go too low, which often it does if you're starting it regularly, sort of playing with the carbs, the voltage drops and it really doesn't like it. Now you might notice there are no indicators on here, and the MOT will have a no indicator MOT. I have, however, when I made up the harness, I've made up enough cable. It's wired to have indicators. So if you look here, I'll take the tank off as well in a second. We'll look at the tank. You can see I've got all the wiring harness and that for the indicators if you so choose to fit them at a later stage. But there you go, all the wiring's done very beautiful, even though I say so myself. So here we are underneath the tank. As you can see, it's got the standard sort of pantah ignition system. Well, actually, the later ones, these don't have the same as the pantah coil because they had a ballast resistor in there. Anyway, I'm sidetracking. So this has the coils of the era that they had there. I think the Spanish coils, actually. It does have the Bosch ignition box. You can see here, I'll pull this out if I can see which way around I need to pull that. Yeah, so that's all the extra cabling. So that's the extra wiring harness. Extra wiring harness, an extension to the wiring harness for the front indicators if you wanted to fit them. I haven't fitted them and it won't have an MOT for them, but that's what it is. I think I'll put a new starter relay in there. The voltage regulator is not new, but it was working perfectly well, so I've left that as it is. So there you have it. I'll put the ignition key down here just because I could. There's a main fuse here for the whole bike. Yeah. Well, if you've got any questions, just contact me.